Good evening. I'm filming this very late at night, so maybe it'll be super creepy and macabre in honor of the thing I'm going to talk about this evening. Tonight, I will be talking about a 2018 television series directed by Mike Flanagan. I know, I usually do movies, so this is new. But I want to talk about something I really like, so I can recommend it to you all. It is a modern retelling of the Shirley Jackson novel of the same name. Tonight, I'll be talking about The Haunting of Hill House. Alright, so I am talking about The Haunting of Hill House, which was, as I said, was directed by Mike Flanagan, who many of you may know as the director of the film Hush, Dr. Sleep that came out last year, Oculus, Ouija, and Gerald's Game. He is a pretty incredible director and writer and producer. He's made some amazing things alongside his wife, who actually starred in Hush, Oculus, and Gerald's Game. And I can't remember her name, but I love her. This TV series is based on the novel The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson that came out in the early 1900s. It is Shelley is the one that's often considered to be the mother of horror, and she did do an amazing job with Frankenstein. However, I would disagree and say that Shirley Jackson is the mother of horror. She really birthed it. You know how like Jamie Lee Curtis is like the scream queen? Shirley Jackson took horror and ate it for breakfast every single day. She wrote things like The Lottery and We've Always Lived in the Castle, which those two definitely have some thriller underlying tones, whereas The Haunting of Hill House really just makes you want to sleep with the lights on for the rest of your life. Sorry, Freddy Krueger, but Shirley Jackson wins this round. This is loosely based on the novel, and it kind of like it's taken with like the same premise, but like kind of in a different way. It's pretty neat how they do it. Instead of it being like random strangers put to live in this house together and see if it's really haunted, it is an entire family. So let's get into that premise. Basically, it is a back and forth of past and present, where the Crane family, 5 kids, 2 adult parents. In the present, the Crane family come face to face with the tragedy and the ghost of their past once again. We see the family living in that house for the summer, and you see the kind of toll it takes on the family and all the weird things that happen that traumatize them to the point that it's affecting them in the present day. It's pretty cool, and I have realized that my premises are actually summaries in my past videos, so I am going to stop there. Tiptoe, into my opinion. I am super picky about adaptations. It kind of terrifies me when a book is being turned into a movie. I don't always dig it. I'm kind of I'm always nervous and anxious about like what's gonna happen, especially if I love the book. There is one film series in particular that I would say gave me PTSD from book to movie adaptations, and I'm not gonna name it, but it really just killed it for me. Killed the genre for me. But this one, and I saw the TV series first, and then I read the book afterwards because I was really interested in all of it, and I had read like Shirley Jackson things before, but I was really interested in the original plot line to the story, and it blew my mind, the way in which there's just so many aspects that they share that's just like, it's pretty cool. Next, I adore the acting. It is so well done. God tier acting, actually. One of the main characters is played by sweet Victoria Pedretti, who I feel like a lot of people know from being Love Quinn in season 2 of You. She plays Eleanor Crane, one of the twins in the family. Just an amazing job in her role. It's amazing. Love it. And then Oliver Jackson Cohen, I think that's his name. Anyways, he plays Luke, which is her other twin, which is Eleanor's twin. And he actually was in The Invisible Man, which came out earlier this year, which I'm probably gonna do I'm totally gonna do a review of that because I have some opinions of that film as well. And also the fact that they have to cast little kids to play the younger versions of these adult actors always a little nerve-wracking to see what happens with that. But oh my god, these kids, one, can act, these kids can act. Two, they're all so complimentary of each other. Like, they all have the little ticks and the little tricks and the little, like, you know, little knickknacks in their character that are so neat, and it's just really precious to see. There's a connection between the older actors and the younger actors that really just comes across so beautifully. The script itself is immaculate, is the best way I can describe it. We live in a world where script writers suck. I'm sorry, especially of TV series. I mean, you've got Riverdale, we just have a lot of shows that have really cheesy writing, and it just doesn't come out well, and like, it's sad because there's no story. Like, there's a story there, but god, man, nobody talks like that in real life sometimes. Then you don't know the trials and tribulations of high school football. But the script is really well written, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I love everything about it. There's also like really nice little consistencies and little additions like throughout the show. Didn't realize this until I was reading about it like a couple weeks ago, but the dad, Father Crane, I can't remember his name, but anyways, the dad of the family, adult self is played by Timothy Hutton, who has like these like grayish blue eyes. And then his younger self is played by the gentleman that was the little boy in the E.T. movie. And so he wore like bright blue contacts throughout the TV series, or throughout the show, like, because he plays past dad, and then Timothy Hutton plays present dad. And past dad, he wore these like bright blue contacts, and throughout the series, and like throughout like the time that they spend in Hill House, the contact color changes to it becomes more and more of a duller blue rather than like the bright blue that they originally were when they first moved in. And I thought that was really cool because that shows like the absolute misery this man was going through during his time at Hill House. That was a really cool thing that they definitely didn't need to add, because like it takes you you gotta notice it and like know it's there to notice it, but once you do, you're like, dang, that's kind of cool. Also, they just like scatter ghosts like all throughout the house in the series. Like, there's a random woman like just standing behind the kitchen windows, and then there's like the guy in the corner, and then there's like little ghost hands everywhere. And the thing is you don't always notice them, and the characters in the show definitely don't notice them. Like, they're not paying any attention to her. But oh my gosh, you'll see it and you'll be like, God, that's so freaky. She's just like standing there staring at them like, what is she doing? And you're like, oh my God, that's so creepy. And then it adds to the eerie vibe of like this old house and that these people are living in, and you're like, oh my God, they're just like it's crazy. Also, there's some really nice throwbacks to the original novel, with like some character names and stuff like that, as well as to Miss Shirley Jackson herself. One of the main characters' name is Shirley because she's not a character that was in the book, so they just threw her in there and they named her Shirley, and it was pretty cute. There is also like the scene where Theodora, like the middle child, is sitting there and she's reading like The Lottery, which is one of Shirley Jackson's books, and like that was pretty cool. The opening and ending lines of like the book are the opening and ending lines of the series, which was pretty neat as well. I loved that little addition. There's just like some other quotes from the novel that are just like put in there, said by like the same characters and that sort of thing. It's like, it was just nice. Like, they didn't have to do that. Like, it wasn't like, it's not a direct copy of the original story, so they didn't have to do any of that, but they did, and it was just a really neat thing to notice and to like have. I'm not easily scared anymore. It takes kind of a little bit for me to get like freaked out. This show really did a number on me. It really spooked me. There are a lot of scenes that I was jumping. I'm not really a screamer, so I don't think I screamed, but it definitely gave me like the heebie-jeebies. Like, it's an effective horror like series. I really appreciated that about it. I literally got scratched by a demon on Monday. I'm being like dead serious. Last Monday, I was scratched by a demon in Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum. And that didn't even freak me out. I mean, I was like, I don't want a demon to come home with me, but I was just like, huh, well, look. There's 5 little scratch marks right on my leg. Like, it's a little spooky. And I just kept walking. I was like, okay, it is what it is. I signed a waiver. In conclusion, brilliant, excellent, wondrous, immaculate. I think I used that word earlier to describe it. Top tier television series. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's one of the best things my eyes have ever laid on. And before I wrap things up, I'm gonna plug in that season 2 is supposed to come out sometime this year. They finished filming before COVID hit the fan, and they were in the process of editing. So fingers crossed, like September, October, we'll be once again reunited with the Haunting, franchise. However, instead of the Haunting of Hill House, they're not doing a sequel season. They're doing the Haunting of Bly Manor. They're kind of doing what American Horror Story did, but better. And it is the Haunting of Bly Manor because it's going to be based on the turn of the screw, which in my last video I talk about, because I talk about The Turning, which was also based on the turn of the screw. But if you watch my video, you'll see that I think The Turning is one of the worst films to ever hit the screen. And I've seen a lot of trash films, okay? And I think The Turning is definitely one of them. But The Turn of the Screw is a brilliant story, and I think The Haunting of Bly Manor will be a wonderful TV series because The Haunting of Hill House was. So, I have high expectations for it, and yeah. So definitely recommend watching that when it comes out, but definitely watch The Haunting of Hill House. If you don't, I'm gonna make your life a living hell. And I mean that because I'm a witch. Okay, thanks for watching.